I don't know if it's time for me to rant yet about the series finale, but I think it's time. I think it's time. I just want just want a moment because I need to have a
Go ahead.
moment.
Go ahead.
Why was Jenny the vampire there? Why was she there?
I have no fucking clue. She is the most inconsequential person in that episode.
So, okay, I watched the episode. All right. I'm going to try and make sense of it. I'm going to try. This was an important episode. I guess you could argue that this episode is the beginning of the journey. I know there's been 19 episodes before this, but this is the beginning. They've got the cult and they're on the way to find the demon, and that's the push of the domino, right? It's that starts everything. So this is an important episode. But
okay, I'll say something here. Why is Jenny so invested?
Yeah.
Because she was forcefully turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
So why did she then join a bunch of vampires that dress up as freaking clowns and steal children out of their beds? Like, or families out of their houses? Like, what happened in those 15 years that, like, she turned into this person? Like, maybe it was Kate's, like, vengeance?
Yeah. I mean, they said in this episode, oh, they have your scent for life. So was this being, again, was this foreshadowing to 15 seasons later? Like, this can't have been the ending that they had in their minds.
But they kind of had to, though, because of the circumstances around COVID, they had to quarantine before they came on. So they already thought about... I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue why it was her, because it really does make no sense that it would be, and unless, because obviously Kate has a thing for revenge. We know this because she killed Elkins. Yeah. She's not in the last episode for whatever reason. So my only guess is that maybe Kate is killed by them in one of their, like, vampire purges. And because she's been with this pack for 15 years, she now believes in revenge and, like, has formed a quote unquote family with them.
But, like, because... is she mad that they didn't save her and they saved everyone else? Like, or yeah, maybe she just... The thing is, I got so many thoughts on this because it doesn't make sense. The thing is, we established through the later seasons as well that not all vampires, not all monsters are bad people. Mm-hmm. So then why did Jenny go bad, stay bad? That's not great. That's not a good message, and it doesn't fit in with the ambiguity that we get in later seasons. Like,
I mean, that whole last episode is garbage, but, like, because it goes against everything that, like, I bet you what happened was that the writer of that episode watched season 1 and was like, oh, I like this, let's just revert back there. So that's why Jenny's in it.
I hate your theory that they just looked at the 20th episode of season 1 and were like, yeah, let's use that. Like, I can't get that out of my brain, and I can't... The thing is, it's like, okay, no. The message of this episode was, we're stronger together. That was literally, like, the last few sentences of this episode was like, family is stronger together. Mm-hmm. And then, I know, like, not everyone could be there, but where was the family? Where were they? Because they weren't there or even mentioned. And it bothers me, because even if you were trying to relate that episode to this episode, the main message of it still isn't there.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No. Like,
Okay, no. Wait. Though, so we know what the original plan for that episode was, right? It was to have everybody that they ever met.
Okay,
and, like,
just was it though?
Okay, go saying, assuming that
Yeah.
that was how the episode was going to go, and that it was Kansas was going to be there, and it was just going to be the Roadhouse and have all these people there.
Yeah.
That would make more sense for
Yeah, I
this
guess so.
being a mirror, because they would be his Dean's family. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Dean's family would be all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And happy ending. Anyway, I can't. But
Yeah.
I don't know, because also the thing is, I also get from this episode that revenge is not the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, everybody dies, all the vampires die, so that's true. It does become true that, revenge doesn't mean anything if you get killed. But I also, the thing is, again, I don't remember the dialogue in that episode. Like, does she say, like, remember me or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, and then they do a weird flashback, and literally I was like, who is this? And then I think someone says Jenny. I can't remember because I refused to watch it again. But
yeah, no.
I literally was like, who?
Yeah,
and
me
I've
too.
watched
I was
a lot
like,
of Supernatural.
oh, yeah.
I think maybe they wanted to do someone from the first season, and maybe this was the one person they could get hold of considering the circumstances. And I accept that as an explanation. Like, that's, I would accept that as an explanation.
Because I'm trying to think who else could it possibly be in terms of like being a person, because every other monster that they've come to face, they have managed to destroy it in some kind of way. Apart from there was a whole thing with bugs where it was a curse of the land, so that wouldn't make sense. Can you imagine if that was the ending? I don't know if that
killed by bugs. They accidentally went back to the same like development. Oh no.
that would have been really. I think that would have been worse.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think like who else.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, like, did it have to be someone from season 1?
It really didn't. It could have been anything.
I don't understand full circle storytelling. Maybe that's just my problem, but I don't think things should become they shouldn't come full circle. Like something that, I mean, this basically what the message is that something that you did 15 years ago is going to come back and haunt you, despite all the good things that you did in your life.
Yep.
Yeah. That.
Because I mean, the only other thing that I can think of is that. So, Luther asks, like, what John's name is, and he says Winchester.
Yeah.
So, because...
it's all John's fault, is what you're saying.
I mean, it is all John's fault. It always has been John's fault. But what I mean by that is... So, yes, okay, Jenny has their scent for life. Whatever. But you got to think, like, we know that all of the monsters, and definitely all of the vampires, know who the Winchesters are.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it was like something to do with that. Like, but I mean, it still doesn't answer the question of why did it have to be something from season 1? Like you said, it didn't need to be full circle. It also, he didn't have to die. He didn't have to die.
This is my problem with it. It's like, okay, even if you'd had that ending written like pre-COVID, okay, did you not maybe like stop and think like, this is the worst year ever, right?
Yeah, in recent history, yeah.
Do people really need this ending?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I didn't need it. Like, I shouldn't be agonizing over it. Flipping 6 months on. Oh, it has been that long. I shouldn't be wondering about it. Like it didn't sit right with me. I'm sure I'm going to talk about it again, but this is the last time I want to talk about it this season. I think it's like it didn't sit right with me because it was sad, and I've always thought that this shouldn't have a tragic ending because so many things happen in the season, this series that is tragic. But ultimately, that's not what the show was about. It was about family. It was about
overcoming those traumatic events.
Exactly, and growing to be better people. And for it to be full circle was really unsatisfying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
because everything that they learned out the window.
Yeah, it felt empty, and I think we didn't. Again, in the year that was 2020, it didn't feel right. It didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it was definitely too unsatisfying, and I feel like there was nothing else in this series that was written in circles like this.
No,
there was nothing else like it.
I mean, I know, like, it goes on and, like, there's a big bad every season. You have to overcome the big bad and, like, you know, it kind of is like that. But that's how shows go, especially when you don't know whether you're going to get another season. That's how it's written. But they knew this was the final season. And I feel like they were building to something else. And then it just didn't feel right. I live in hope. And as we say on the internet, I am a clown. I believe that this will one day be addressed. I think that I hope that they do like something to kind of fix the ending. Maybe I'm just, like I said, maybe I'm clowning, but like I think there must be some feeling that it was unsatisfying for 15 years of work. Like I would be gutted. So I think there must be something sometime.
Yeah.
I hope for a revival. Not a I don't want a reboot. I want like a revival. No. X-Files style.
I don't there's too much in Supernatural that a reboot wouldn't make sense.
No. I fully believe, as with the X-Files, it came back and they did like a short sort of series to, you know, bring it back, and it was later on. I think I could see something like that for Supernatural, and I live in hope. Yeah. I'll take anything. Like, Misha, do your puppet show. Like, I want to see it. Or an audio drama. I just, like, please fix it.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. If you hadn't guessed already by this podcast, we are finale denialists. It didn't happen.
Oh, yes. No, it didn't.
For me, I think 1519 was the last episode. It was okay, and I think it was a really satisfying ending.
It was. Like, they didn't... If they didn't have anything after that, like, if 1519 was the last episode ever, I would have been fine with that.
I would have been fine with it. Actually fine with it. I mean,
because I remember saying, like, what are they going to do? What's the next episode going to be?
Yeah,
like,
I was exactly the same. I was watching it and like, wait, there's another episode after this. I was like, is it going to be like an epilogue? Like, oh, yeah, we're going to get to see, like, Sam running the Hunter Network and Dean opening his bar. Like, I thought that was... I was like, it can be like a 45-minute, like, feel good. Oh.
I remember having that conversation back in November about this. Like, we both had theories and neither of us were correct.
I don't think anybody could have guessed. I don't think anybody could have guessed what it was going to be. Okay.
No.
Right, I think we should stop there because I'm just making myself mad. Yeah.